Hello and welcome to Little Antique Me. Today we are doing another recreating the icons, and today's icon is Ginger Rogers. She's always been iconic to me because of her dancing with Fred Astaire, her class, her grace, her elegance. I was doing a little reading in search of information about Ginger Rogers while I prepared for this video and discovered that she started dancing at a very young age. Her mom was a theater and art critic, and Ginger Rogers was very intrigued with all of that. She actually started dancing on stage and then was contacted to dance with Fred Astaire, and they did a couple of films together, and then she went on to film some other films without dancing and singing. For today's look, I picked one of the pictures I found actually on Pinterest of Ginger Rogers. I loved the finger wave effect and the curls and how elegant and classy she looked. So for her makeup, I actually skipped that part of the tutorial today just because the hair was a little more in-depth than normal. So for her makeup, I just did my foundation. I filled in my brows to match her nice rounded arch, and then I also applied fake lashes and mascara to give that nice wide look. So let's get on to hair. Okay, first we're going to start by parting my hair straight down the middle, because on our inspiration picture she had that nice middle part. Now I'm also going to section it into 3 sections, 2 front sections and 1 big back section. So parting from the top of my part to my ear, so from ear to ear basically. I'm going to get that back section out of the way with a clip, and we'll work on the front. So go ahead and pull one of them out of the way for now, and we'll work on this side. So using a 1/2 inch curling iron, I'm going to start at the top of my section, taking about an inch wide sections, and we're going to roll towards the back of my hair, which obviously I didn't do there. There we go, towards the back of my hair to make it move away from my face. Making sure you get down all the way to the ends. Alright, and then we're going to use a pin curl clip to clip it into place so that it can cool in that shape. We're going to move on down, again grabbing another inch wide section, curling it all the way down to the ends. Make sure they aren't sticking out in some weird way. Once it's nice and hot, go ahead and clip it to hold it. And now this part of my head is actually a bit wider, or section is a bit wider, so I'm going to split it in half and do 2 separate curls. And we're going to finish that side and do the other side the exact same way. So here are both sides nice and curled. I'm going to use my big sexy hair spray and play and just give them a nice spray. Next we're going to move on to the back section. This one I was a little less particular about the sectioning and the width of the section, so because it's just going to be pinned up. So I just took, I don't know, a good size section, split it in half, and curled it up. I know that sounds super technical, but you know, it is what it is. So we're going to do this and work up the entire back of our hair, taking just random sections and curling them. And we're not even going to pin curl clip them up, because again, they're just going to be pinned up out of the way. Take a section, break it in half. This one actually broke into 3 halves, or 3 sections I should say. Curl, and repeat. Okay, now that that back section is curled, our front section is nice and cool now, and so I'm going to remove the pin curl clips on just one side and work on that side first. So I decided to give this a little tease because her hair looked like it was a little more fluffy, not so stuck to her head finger waves. So I'm also going to use my Suavecita pomade and work that into my hair to give it more structure and something to smooth and mold my finger waves. So I smoothed it into my hair. I'm using my comb and some clips to start creating those waves. This part was actually a little trickier than I had hoped or intended. I'm sure there's probably better methods out there. I will explore that at some point and hopefully post a video. So for finger waves, you're looking for that nice S or C curve that people talk about. So as you saw, I pulled it down behind the comb to give it that curve and that ridge. This ended up being a lot of just moving, adjusting, combing, moving, adjusting again, and hoping for the best. Alright, on to the next section. So once I had the first section kind of how I wanted it, I went ahead and decided to just try and make this one mirror the other side. So again, taking all the clips out, and we're going to back comb or tease to give it that volume. And I applied the Suavecita pomade again to my hands and then through to my hair. Now this side was actually a little trickier just because I was doing it opposite of what the first side was. Much like Ginger Rogers said, Fred Astaire was a great dancer, but just remember I did everything he did backwards and in heels. So this is our backwards and in heels side, but it didn't turn out as graceful as Ginger Rogers, I suppose. So again, just moving and shaping, figuring out where things need to go. Okay, once I had it in the spot where I felt like I liked it, I went ahead and gave it another spray with my Big Sexy Hair Spray and Play. Next, I used my comb clips to clip up the back. So instead of a bunch of bobby pins, I use these. I really like them because I can hold a big section of hair without having to do a billion crisscross bobby pins. So I just kind of kept looking at our inspiration picture and placing those combs where I felt like it was meant to be. And so in our picture, I felt that the curls were mainly on one side, maybe like an asymmetrical look, so I tried to keep a lot of them off to my left side. Next, I'm going to use bobby pins, and we are going to randomly pin curls into place. There's no real science to this other than I just felt if there was a big section of curls, I would break them up and then pin them wherever I felt like there was a hole or a section that needed more hair. And we're going to keep on pinning until we have it where we want it. And always make sure you check your back, make sure everything is covered, make sure no bobby pins are hiding or showing, etc.
ring your rosy around your red rose. Red, ring your rosy around your beautiful red rose. Red.
Okay, once that is finished, we're going to go ahead and remove those clips in the front. And so, to enhance the waves a little more, because they didn't quite turn out how I thought they would, I went ahead and used my hot curling iron and just created the indent that I was looking for. Be careful of your fingers, do not burn them, and do not drop the curling iron in your lap, because that's for a whole nother story. So very carefully just push right where those clips were. And same on the other side. Okay.
Ring your rosy around your red rose. Take a pinky petal for your purple bride. Take a burning blossom for your budding bride. Woo me with that wonderful.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you were inspired by this look created by Ginger. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you were inspired by this Ginger Rogers inspired look. If you try it, I would love to see. I think it would be great for an evening out or a prom or wedding. Or for me, I'm just wearing it to dinner tonight. So I hope you have an amazing week and a wonderful month. Let's kick this month off with a bam. I hope you have an amazing week and a wonderful month. I hope and pray that God blesses you and keeps you this week. And if you have any prayer requests, please leave them down below. If you have any questions, leave them down below as well. And I will see you next time. Bye!